Roblox Rust, an absolutely history-rich community in Roblox that actually isn't that well known. But today I'm here to make sure that once you finish this video, you are an expert on everything Roblox Rust related. So it all started a long time ago. The exact date has eluded me, but using Rovive's old game location on Roblox, I can tell you it all started on August 6th, 2018. This is when the first Roblox Rust game that we know of, Rovive, released. Now, Rovive has a bit of a complicated history. It was made by the same guy who created the famous Ripple minigames, as you can see, so it was bound to be a good game. But unfortunately, development lacked, and Rovive was the first Rust copy to kind of fall into irrelevance. It wasn't good enough to keep players engaged, and that's the reason for its fall. This might seem like the end, but for a weird, brief period of time, Ripple, the creator, was back, and he was developing a new version of Rovive under the studio Double Tap, which it even had a testable Arsenal like game mode, but weirdly, Ripple went dark and all of his developers said he scammed them and never paid them. So, leaving on that terrible note, it's the last time we'll ever hear of Ripple and Rovive as of December 21st, 2023. The only remnants we have of Rovive are the developers of Auxiliary Studios, which are the former developers of Double Tap. They are currently creating a COD Zombies game in Roblox, and they also own Rushpoint, which is similar to Roblox Valorant. Buckle up. This is where it gets interesting. Now we move on to the infamous Sultan Saga. This part of Roblox Rust history revolves around a developer who goes by the name of Sultan. The oldest videos we can find from Sultan developing was all the way back on the 16th of September 2018. This is when he made a showcase for a bow, then a couple days later a building system, and then a couple months later, on the 1st of January 2019, we get the first look of Lost, which is playing in the background. Lost was Sultan's very first survival game, and by the opinions of a lot of people, the best one to ever exist on Roblox. This game had a beautiful life. It was constantly updated, bosses were added, transportation like boats, and even oil rig was in the game. But like they say, all good things must come to an end. A Rust YouTuber, who you may know of as Mimeo, made a video on Lost around June 2020. He actually made a total of 3 videos on Lost, which combined amassed over 2.3 million views. This was bad. Lost was getting too much attention, and Sultan was desperately trying to fix what he knew was going to be the downfall of his game. Until, what we say in the Roblox Rust community, the Mimeo curse hit. Lost was taken down by Facepunch. The owners of Rust, the multi-millionaires at Facepunch, believed that some silly little Lego game posed a threat to their massive Steam game. Well, it happens that Sultan might have been using copyrighted material, and, well, copyright law in place, Roblox had to take down their game. So you might think Sultan learned his lesson, that he moved on from Roblox Rust, he moved to better things. Yeah, no. He did the exact same thing. He made Dust. Dust was slightly more unique of a game, had a lot more features, and was a lot less similar to Rust, but it was still the general core concept of Rust. Dust released on November 11th, 2020. Everything was looking up. People loved the new game. Everyone was playing it. until too many people were playing it. It caught the eye of a certain someone, a certain YouTuber who was trying to go 2-0 in helping take down Rust copies. That's right, the Mimeo curse strikes again. It hits hard on December 4th of 2020. He posts 2 videos which amassed over 600,000 views, which isn't as much as last time, but it's still enough to catch the eyes of Face Punch. Now, this time, things take a bit of a turn. Instead of a direct correlation of Mimeo video post to takedown, there was a bit of time in between the post and the takedown. During this time frame, there were several reviews. These reviews would shut down Dust for a couple hours to maybe a day at a time. Now, naturally, everyone is panicking. The shutdown is close, everyone can see it, I can see it, you can see it, Sultan could see it. And surely enough, even though Sultan was viciously defending himself, saying that the game would not get taken down, that no one's going to lose their money that they spent, it was again taken down. The same reasons as Lost was taken down. It got taken down for copyright, it got taken down by Face Punch, and yeah. So Sultan, after this huge loss, he moves on. At the dawn of the new year of 2022, he releases Project Delta, a game sort of similar to Tarkov, but not Rust. He finally learned his lesson, and he won't pursue Roblox Rust games anymore. Oh wait, he's actually in development of Frontier 2086, a new game. It's Roblox Rust. The next game we will be talking about is Fallen. Fallen has a much simpler history than all of Sultan's game. Fallen has been some major changes in its history, with the current version out right now being Fallen V5. Now, not much is known about version 1 through 3, but we do know a playable version, version 4, was able to be played in late 2019. This version, known as Fallen V4 or Fallen 2019. Fallen 2019 was kind of a bare bones game. Graphics were pretty bad, the gameplay and core mechanics were minimal. But again, it was Roblox Rust. If you did not care about graphics, the gameplay was almost identical to Rust. Fallen remained rather quiet in the background of the community. They had a couple viral videos, both hitting around 50,000 views, but neither really put a lot of players into the game due to the reason that it was mainly just Rust players just clowning them like, oh, brokey, you can't afford Rust, just go play real Rust, etc., etc. This all changed when the developers decided to sit down and grind for the newest and best version of their game, Fallen V5. Now, V5 is the best game anyone can ask for. It is the perfect blend between a unique survival game as well as Rust aspects to attract players in. The game is at a quality no one has ever seen before. It's simply beautiful. All the leaks anyone has ever seen of this proves that this will be the best possible game. So it releases November 10th, 2023. All goes to plan. Maybe a few hour or two delays, a few minor hiccups, but that doesn't matter. The game is just as everyone expects. It's amazing. New content every week, new skins every week, great progression system, great PvP system. It has everything. And the game just costs a tiny 200 Robux or $2. But even then, it will soon be free for anyone to play to their heart's content. Now, you might think this ends with a happy ending, but remember that guy who cursed both Lost and Dust? Well, as of recording and editing this video, Mimeo has posted. We don't know where this will head. Hopefully, hopefully nothing comes of this. But if by pure chance, Face Punch throws a fit, Mimeo will finally be 3-0. He will take down another game under his belt. Closing in on the end of the video, I'd like to thank you for staying this long. But I'd also like to talk about the games who filled the void when no major game was there. Several games emerged trying to fill the void that appeared when Dust and Lost disappeared. Many of these games were scams. There was Vast, Lost in Siberia, Fra, all of those games ended up as scams, and the owners ran away with any money they managed to grab. But the games that succeeded include Vanity, a game which took around a year to release, starting from the takedown of Dust and releasing around a year later, mid 2022. Vanity had potential. It looked amazing, but it was unfortunately executed improperly. Its core mechanics are iffy, its PvP system is iffy, and it feels rather rushed. They had a great peak, but they dwindled down to around 200, 400 players. They're pretty desperate for a player base. Lone Survival, on the other hand, had a massive spike in popularity at one point. They had a crazy peak of 2,000 players, but now they're down to a steady player base of 200 to 500 players. But the one and only game that was ever able to fill just a tiny bit of the hole in our hearts was Trident Survival, created on the 29th of November 2021, only becoming popular late August of 2022. This game was good. It had all the survival aspects of Rust, but it lacked heavily in graphics. There's honestly not much history to talk about, to be honest. At one point, they had to relocate the game because they lost the group or something. They had to relocate it to a different place on Roblox. But other than that, they remained stable at 1.5 to 2,000 players. The game is even still up today if you would like to try it. Just search up Trident Survival on Roblox. And that is the end of the video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.